Let us start exercise questions. First, let us start with question number 1. This one, okay? So it is given that an object experiences a net zero external unbalanced force. Is it possible for the object to be traveled or to be traveling with a non-zero velocity? If yes, state the condition that must be placed on the magnitude and direction of the velocity. If no, provide a reason. Okay, so the question is that suppose we have an object, and on the object a net zero unbalanced force is applied. Net zero unbalanced force, that means no force is applied on the object. In this particular case, is it possible for the object to move with a non-zero velocity? So the answer is yes, it is possible. And how it is possible? The answer will be yes, right? This is yes, but how? Suppose if a car is there, and if the car is moving with a constant velocity, suppose for example 30 meter per second, with this velocity it is moving. So until and unless you apply any force on it, the car will keep on moving with the velocity. If you apply brake, its velocity will reduce, the car will stop. If you apply accelerator, the velocity will increase, the car will moving with more velocity. So the question is that only, that instead of applying any external force, is it possible for any object to move? Yes, it is possible, because when the car is moving with a constant velocity, we are not applying any force. If we apply force, either the velocity will increase, that means when we apply accelerator, or if we apply brake, the velocity will decrease. But if the car moves with a constant velocity, then we don't have to apply any unbalanced force. Okay, so here the answer is yes, it is possible for the object to be traveling with a non-zero velocity when a non-zero unbalanced force acts on the object. If some force acts on the object, whatever I said, the same thing is written here, you just go through this. Okay, so what I said you can write in your own way also. What you have to write is that when no force exerts on the object or on an object, the object can still move with a constant velocity, but if force is applied, then either its velocity will decrease or its velocity will increase. Okay, that much only you have to write. Number 2, when a carpet is beaten with a stick, dust comes out of it. Explain. So that is the law of inertia. Means when the carpet is beaten, the carpet is getting what? Motion, but the dust particles which are there in the carpet, they don't get any motion. They just try to remain in their initial state due to the inertia, right? Inertia of rest. So those dust particles, they want to remain at rest, and as a result it come out or it falls. So that's what is written here. When a carpet is beaten with a stick, carpet comes, this will be carpet, okay, carpet comes to motion, but the dust particle in the carpet tend to remain in rest due to inertia. This appears like dust particles coming out of the carpet. Okay. Next one, why is it advised to tie any luggage kept on the roof of a bus with a rope? So when bus accelerates from rest, suddenly bus moves forward, right? But the luggage, due to their inertia, they must have a tendency to move back, or as a result they may fall. So what we do, it must be tied off, or it must be tied with some rope to avoid misplace or to avoid displacement of the objects or the luggages. It may fall if it is not tied properly. Similarly, when a moving bus, one more thing is written, one more line. Similarly, when a moving bus stops suddenly due to inertia, the luggage on the roof tend to continue to remain in motion. Thus, they may fall off the roof if not tied with rope. So in the both cases it is difficult, because when the bus starts moving, then also it may fall, when the bus suddenly stops also, then also the luggages may fall, so it is better to tie with a rope. Number 4, a batsman hits a cricket ball and which then rolls on a level ground. After covering a short distance, the ball comes to rest. The ball slows to a stop because some reasons are given. The batsman did not hit the ball hard enough. Number 2 is given, velocity is proportional to the force exerted on the ball. Number 3 or number C, there is a force on the ball opposing the motion. Number 4, there is no unbalanced force on the ball, so the ball would want to come to rest. The answer is number C, because what happened is when the ball is rolling down, suppose on a floor or on a ground, the ground surface or the floor surface, it exerts some frictional force on it. Friction, we call it frictional force, and this frictional force is just opposite to the direction of motion. That means when the ball is moving, suppose in one direction, in forward direction, the frictional force will come into play in backward direction, and after moving some distance the ball automatically will stop. Okay, so the answer is number C. There is a force on the ball opposing the motion, it is opposing the motion, so that this force is also called frictional force. Then number 5 and 6, two sums are there. So remember, always whenever you go for solving sums, first you write down the things which are given. So a truck starts from rest and rolls down a hill with a constant acceleration. It travels a distance of 400 meter in 20 seconds. Find the acceleration, find the force acting on it if its mass is 7 tons. So 1 ton means it is given, 1 ton means it is 1000 kg, so 7 tons will be 7 into 1000 means 7000 kg. Anyways, first of all we have to find out acceleration, this one, and then we have to find out force. So for that, for acceleration, first you write what are the things given. Mass is given, fine. Truck, initially the truck starts from rest, so initial speed or velocity will be 0. Then the car or the truck has traveled 400 meters, so distance is 400 meter, time is given 20 seconds. So these things are given. So to get acceleration we can use this formula. In motion chapter you got it, s equal to ut plus half at square. So here s means it is given 400, just to substitute all the values, u 0, so the first thing will be 0 only. 0 into t means it is 0, right? 0 into t, ultimately it will be 0. And then half at square. So a we are supposed to calculate. So from this, if you calculate, the value of a comes as 2 meter per second square. You can try yourself also. Once we get a, what we need to find out is force. So remember, force means it is what? From second law of motion, ma. So once acceleration is observed or it is obtained, mass is already given, which is 7000 kg. So you just multiply mass with acceleration to get the force. So that's what is done here. F equals to ma. F is 7000, acceleration obtained is 2, so the answer is 14,000 Newton. You can keep kilonewton if you want, you can write down kilo means 1000, so 14 kilonewton. Otherwise if you keep 14,000 Newton also, this much is also correct. Okay, this much. So next one, number 6, that is also a sum. So it is given that a stone of 1 kg is thrown with a velocity of 20 meter per second across a frozen surface of a lake and comes to rest after traveling a distance of 50 meter. What is the force of friction between the stone and the ice? Just now I told you about the force of friction. So force of friction means what I said just now, that it is the opposing force. Now suppose on a lake surface, if a stone is thrown, the stone will move certain distance and then it will stop. Due to which force? Due to the force of friction, which is actually opposing the motion. Okay, so that force we have to find out, and in this case the magnitude, if you find out, the force will come as negative. The negative sign means what? It is the opposite force, opposing the motion. Alright, so first of all let us write what are the things given. So velocity, initial velocity of the stone is given 20, so u will be 20. this one. Final velocity will be 0 because the stone will stop after some time, right? Distance is given 50, s is 50 meter. So we can use this formula. This is the third formula of motion. This one, v square is equal to what? U square plus 2as. So if you just rearrange, if you bring u square this side, then it becomes what? V square minus u square equal to 2as. Okay, that's what is written here. Now if you use this formula, substitute the values. V is 0 as I told, because it has to be come to at rest. So 0 square, u square is 20 square, 2a 50, these things are given only. If you calculate a now, you can calculate, no, 220 square will come as 400, 2 into 50 will give us 100. So in that way, if you calculate, the value comes as minus, this is acceleration, minus 4 meter per second square. And once acceleration is minus, certainly the force will also be minus, because the formula that we have for force, what formula we have for force? F equals to ma, right? So that's what is written here, F equals to ma. Mass is given what? Mass is given 1 kg. This one, no, 1 kg. So if mass is 1 kg, substitute, and acceleration we got minus 4. So 1 into minus 4 gives us minus 4 Newton. This one, minus 4 Newton. Now if the value comes as minus 4 Newton, that means the force is negative. So why negative? Because it is representing the opposing force, which is the frictional force in this case. Okay, so till question number 6 we have discussed. Then in next video we will discuss from number 7. Thank you.